One of the questions I get a lot is, should I hire a fractional CMO or a marketing agency? By the end of this video today, you're gonna know whether or not you should hire a fractional CMO or a marketing agency or a unique combination that I'm gonna talk about a little bit more in depth. Most companies hire a marketing agency and things tend to go very, very wrong. And I'm gonna explain to you why that happens almost every single time and how to avoid it with your business. Okay, I'm just gonna cut right to it. Agency does not equal a CMO. There are a lot of marketing agencies in the world. In fact, in the 2000s, I had one of the largest digital marketing education platforms in the world. We had 100,000 students in 80 countries. And we were teaching people about the internet. We were teaching them about digital marketing. And that spawned an entire revolution online where all of a sudden you had hundreds of thousands of people saying, I'm a marketing expert. And those marketing experts went on to start their own agencies. And that word agency got very, very diluted. A marketing agency back in the 50s or the 60s, we think of them from like the Mad Men, TV series where they were these big buildings in New York and they had all of these people working for them in these huge contracts. That's what marketing agency used to mean. Now, anybody that can place a Facebook ad considers himself a marketing agency. So a marketing agency does not equal a CMO. A CMO, or a fractional CMO, is somebody who's had tremendous amounts of experience spending real money on real campaigns with real businesses. And ideally, they've had that experience in your industry. So they can quickly look at what you're doing today. They can see where there's some quick fixes that they can implement immediately, and those quick fixes can instantly increase the bottom line. If that happens, you know you've got the right fractional CMO because they've seen this movie before and they know what the ending should look like and they can fast forward you right there. Unfortunately, the marketing agency typically has some juniors or some medium level people managing your account and they're just going from account to account to account. There's a couple of problems with that. Number one, they're distracted by many different accounts at one time. Number two, they might not actually have experience in your area. And the third one, which I often think is the most important, is they've typically never run their own business. And even people who are running marketing agencies, they say, well, I'm running a business, I have a marketing agency. True, but they're only used to spending other people's money. So there's a detachment between the investment and the result. I didn't start my marketing agency, 7 Mile Media, until I had already built and exited 5 businesses. So we wake up every single morning and I tell my team, you have to answer one question today. What would you do if this was your money? And when you can approach it through that mindset versus a vendor mindset, it creates a very different result. What a fractional CMO actually does is they take all of their historical experience in your industry of what's worked and maybe more importantly, what creates the landmines, and they look at your business and they say, okay, we're gonna pull this lever and this lever and this lever, and then we're gonna do a 30-day plan, a 90-day plan, a 6-month plan, a 12-month plan, and we're gonna add in these other items to help you get unstuck and start to scale. They're the strategist. They're the one implementing things based on their historical experience. A marketing agency is just executing on what you tell them to do or what your marketing director tells them to do. And unfortunately, that's kind of like being inside the fishbowl. You kind of don't have the right filter to be looking through things because everybody's talking about the same things and nobody has fresh eyes or experience to leverage. So they're just the doers. They're not typically the strategic thinkers involved in the equation. Here's when an agency actually makes sense. If you have a full-time marketing director or a full-time CMO or a fractional CMO and the strategy is already in place and you can tell them exactly what you want them to do and they're the executors, that's one of the places where it makes sense. My favorite combination is actually hiring a fractional CMO that owns an advertising agency. That's similar to what we do inside of my agency, 7 Mile Media, is I will come on, I will review everything. I will tell the client exactly what needs to be done at each stage. And when we get the buy-in, then I simply hand it to my team, who's a highly trained group of people who knows exactly my processes, and they will go execute it. And the benefit of doing it that way is that often you can have the fulfillment done in 3 to 4 weeks kicking off versus when you hire somebody like a fractional CMO or an agency in the managerial space, it might take them 5 to 6 months before they truly understand the business and get in line with what's being requested of them. If you want to see how a real business works with this strategy, I've put together another video for you. And that video outlines the exact 5 things that you must know before hiring a fractional CMO. And the great thing is the link's just below, so you can go ahead and click it and get instant access.